Hey, what's up? So today I want to talk about how I crushed my 2023 goals and how I'm looking forward to doing the same next year. I want to go through my list of goals, how well I fared with them, the ones that I failed at, the ones I mostly succeeded at, and just kind of a general annual review of the year and kind of some of the stuff that's coming up next year, all in the interest of public accountability. Let's go! So my first goal for the year was to start a startup that solves a real problem or that I am passionate about, or at least start planning it while acquiring money or skills at a relevant job. So to give context, I finished university at the end of last year. I finished my computer engineering degree, and after like a nice holiday with my girlfriend and with my dad, I decided I needed to go out and start actually trying to make something of myself. And so I went and got a corporate job at a software engineering company, well, logistics company, but I was doing software engineering, and it went pretty well, and I acquired, I hit my financial goal of the year, my savings goal, which is pretty decent. And at the same time, I started learning more about startups and learning more about small businesses and kind of what it takes to succeed almost as like a solopreneur. I think that's the general definition for it. Entrepreneur who works by himself with online businesses, agencies, that sort of thing. And so yeah, this first goal, I think I'm pretty successful at it. I didn't start a startup or a small business this year, but I definitely learned a lot more about the process of doing so, and it's now going to be my major goal for next year, and I've even quit my corporate job to pursue that goal. And I definitely acquired money and skills in that corporate job in order to work towards this goal. So yeah, I'm calling it a success. Number 2 was to read 60 books. This goal I failed abysmally at, unfortunately. I only read 28 books this year. I'm on about 28 and a half right now, maybe 29 by the end of the year when the new year actually comes around. So dismal failure on this on this goal. But here's the list of books that I read this year. I wanted to read more nonfiction than I actually did, but I mean, when you're tired and frustrated, and that fiction goes down a lot easier than nonfiction. And so I wanted to read a lot more nonfiction next year, but I'm happy with the amount of books that I read this year. I didn't read as much as I did last year. Last year I read like 56 books or something, but it's because I was living by myself, and every time I was cooking or cleaning and that, I had dead time on my hands. So audiobook, bam, you can smash through books like that. Whereas this year I've been staying at home, and so any spare time I had, I've been spending with family, which is, I'm happy to have not met my reading goal since I actually met my other goal, which was to spend time with the people that care and organize as many get-togethers with these people as possible. My family obviously being the most important people in that list. And so yeah, that goal was a massive success as well. I spent lots of time with family this year. I saw a lot of friends as well. I think I organized a decent amount of get-togethers, and just keeping in touch over the phone, on WhatsApp, giving people phone calls. In particular, when I was at the gym cycling, doing some cardio, it's a great time to phone people and just catch up for 5-10 minutes. And people always appreciate phone calls. And so I want to do more of that next year. Just keep in touch with people, and the people that want to keep in touch with you, got to put extra effort into those relationships. And so yeah, that goal was pretty good. My physical goal for this year, was to complete 2 gym programs and to run as much as possible. The running part, I have a bit of an engineer at the moment with some ITB, but I completed, I think, more than 2 gym programs. I did Jeff Nippett's powerbuilding program with my girlfriend, and then a bit of Natasha Ocean's 12-week running marathon preparedness program, and now I'm currently doing the Jeff Nippett's essential bodybuilding, or I can't remember what the name is, his newest bodybuilding program here, and it's really going well. I'm really enjoying that. So in terms of that, physical goals, crushed it. And so yeah, I think my physical goals, I was really happy with them this year. I'm trying to make my goals more about the process of achieving them than the ultimate outcome, because you can't always control the ultimate outcome, whereas I can control that I go and do 2 gym programs every year, and I go to gym multiple times a week. I can't control how much weight to put on or really how much strength I gain. So yeah, I was happy with that. And then finally, the goal was to have 100K in savings by the end of the year, financially achieve that from my corporate job, but only because I'm living at home, and very grateful for that. And so yeah, overall the year went pretty well. I don't think I enjoyed it that much because of my corporate job, and because I was kind of just stuck at home doing my online remote job. I started off the year thinking my remote job would be perfect for me, but I've kind of learned I'm quite an extrovert, and I really enjoy hanging out with people and doing social events and that. And so joining a corporate job that is remote only actually, that you never really see your fellow co-workers and that was not so enjoyable for me, and so I didn't enjoy work a lot of this year. And obviously extremely privileged, a high paying software engineering job, you can't complain about that, but there were some additional management problems, and I was the 7th person to leave the team in like 6 months or something. So yeah, there were other problems with the team and with the management and that I needed to leave that job anyway. And so that's why I'm excited for next year and that, to travel around, see as many friends as possible, and work on my own goals and my own business and that for a while. Just a quick side note here on strategy and that, if I had to actually answer the question about how I crushed my goals from last year, I think the answer would be I set goals in the first place, and then I periodically reviewed these goals and made sure what I was doing day to day was actually aligning with these goals. And so for my reading goal, it meant constantly having books on my phone and constantly choosing to listen to Audible and audiobooks on my phone as opposed to opening YouTube and scrolling through shorts. For the fitness goal, it meant, having a gym membership and constantly going to gym with friends and consistently following a program. So there's just something side technical note there to note. And so then in terms of my goals for next year, for 2024, I've got a kind of provisional list here that I will update on my own personally in that. I think I might have too many goals here. I've got to focus after all. But my number one goal for next year is to achieve financial independence with my own business, digital products or some kind of digital agency, by getting to I think it's like 12 grand a month recurring revenue. That's kind of what I need to live off at the moment, with medical aid and food and some other small scale expenses and that, rent and that. And so yeah, that's the goal for next year, to just try and achieve some sort of financial stability without having to go get a corporate job. I'm totally unopposed to going back and getting a normal job. I will be halfway through this year if once I run out of savings actually. But while I'm young and can take lots of risk, I want to give it my best shot at doing something for myself. And when you grow up consuming so much entrepreneurial content on YouTube and that, you got to chase after those dreams when you're young. And so I'm excited to do that, and that's my number one goal for next year, to achieve financial independence by kind of being an entrepreneur. We'll see about that. Number two is to focus on myself and be happy for my friends and family with no FOMO or jealousy. I think in the age of Instagram and that, it's very easy to compare your life to others and that, and I think I've gotten decently better at this over the years, but I mean, it's a goal that can always use improving. Just like focusing on yourself and being happy for your friends and family, no matter where they are, what they're doing, whether they're hanging out with you or not. Just being happy for the people around you and not getting jealous when people go on expensive holidays without you or instead of hanging out with you. So yeah, I mean, that's a good goal, and I think I've done decent at it in the past, and I'd like to continue doing decent at it. The third goal for the year is to make a YouTube video a week and kind of pivot the audience to business/technology, because I started this YouTube channel all about varsity and all about university vlogs, and that's cool and all, but I'm no longer a university student, haven't been for a year, and I haven't posted much this year because I think most of my audience just likes watching my YouTube videos about university, and there's been no university this year, and there's never going to be again. So I need to pivot my audience away to the kind of things that I'm more interested in, and I'm probably going to be spending the next few years of my life working on, and that's business and technology. So I'm keen for that, and so the goal is to make a YouTube video every week. My reading goal for next year is going to be to read 52 books. So it's a scaled down version of this year's goal of 60 books, but less actually than the amount of books I read last year, 56. So 52, it's a book a week. I just need to get better at listening on Audible and that, and maybe if I'm doing a bit more traveling next year, I'll probably have more time to read. And so this is the kind of goal that if I set audaciously high and I fall short, I'm not that unhappy about, because the mere fact that I'm reading more books and trying to consume information and learn, and that's the goal at the end of the day. It's not the number, but I'm going to set it audaciously high anyway. My physical goals for next year are to do 2 gym programs, again, same as this year. Just stay consistent with that, and then to run a 21-kilometer half marathon. I was entered to one this year, and then I got ITB in my knee, and it was so sore, and I could barely run. I barely run in the last couple of months, but I'm slowly recovering and stretching and strengthening it, and so I'm hoping that by the time April rolls around next year, when we're entered to do the Cape Town 2 Oceans half marathon, I'm going to be strong enough to do that. And so just working on my knee and that in the next few months is going to be a priority for me, so that I can do that, because I'm seeing all my friends crush their half marathon goals. Everyone these days is either getting engaged or running a half marathon. I love that meme, and I really need to run my half marathon. So yeah, that's a physical goal for next year. Goal number 5 is to do 10 startups in 10 weeks, kind of challenge to myself next year to ship as much as possible and to build as many products and services and tools and learn as much as possible in terms of entrepreneurship and digital businesses. But I'm going to make a whole video about that in the future. And then my last goal for next year is just to commit acts of service and love to those that I love. Continuing on from like the goal of spending time with people this year, I just want to spend time with the important people in my life next year and make sure that they know they're important to me. And so yeah, those are all my goals for next year. Once again, I'm pretty happy with my progress on my personal goals for this year. Some of them could have gone better, some of them could have gone worse, but considering my like day-to-day existence was spent like working on a corporate job and that, I think I achieved them decently. Because it's funny, because almost all of these personal goals were kind of in non-working hours. Like there weren't things that I could work on during the working day. And so, I mean, you know, every human being has to work to keep themselves alive and that, and has to, you know, earn their keep every day. And so I'm happy with the progress that I made on that. And I'm looking forward to having 6 months of uninterrupted time next year to work on these personal goals and to work on some of my own things. So I'm very excited for that. So thanks for watching. I hope that you had a good Christmas season and you're gonna have a good new year. I will catch you in 2024.